Hey everyone, my name is Tom and welcome to my place. We're in the Boosted Media Test Sim, I guess we'll call it. This is a place where we put a bunch of gear on to test it long term, as well as trying out some experimental things here and there. So I want to take you for a bit of a look around what we've got here, give you some thoughts on some of the things I've been using for a while now, as well as some new bits that I've been playing with as well. So that should be pretty interesting for you. And I just want to mention, Will and I are currently under pretty strict lockdown restrictions at the moment. So we're really grateful for being in a place where we are safe, but it's been challenging being under lockdown for, I think we're in the 8th week now at the time of me recording this. So with both of us having young kids home from school, it's been pretty challenging. And me personally, my head has been all over the place. It has been a real mental challenge for me, I won't lie. So I've really appreciated everyone who's reached out to Will and myself just to check in on us. Everyone who's been part of the community at the moment, the sim racing community and the Boosted Media community. You guys have been awesome, so thank you. Anyway, sentimental things out of the way, let's have a look at what we've got here. So I'm going to jump out, grab the camera and walk around and give you a look. All right, so we'll start off looking at the cockpit, I think. This is a Track Racer TR160, which I've had on the rig for the better part of a year now, I think, since doing our full review. And look, the move to aluminium profile has been fantastic. I really, really like it. I love the workflow of it, just in terms of how much you can change and fine tune to your liking. I've never had a problem getting my seat position right, my wheel position right. I've never had a problem with lack of rigidity or flex or anything like that. So it has been really enjoyable. The only thing I think that frustrates me with this is just how long it takes to make adjustments. Yes, you can make lots of adjustments, but man, it can be annoying and time consuming sometimes. But I think no matter what aluminium profile system you go with, that's going to be a fairly common thing. And of course, there are a lot of options when it comes to these cockpits. And I think the biggest factor in choosing that has probably got to be where you are in the world and what's available to you at what price, what taxes and so on. But yeah, I've really enjoyed having this here. I have changed out the wheelbase mount. We're using the SimCore UM1 mount here, which is really, really good. It is as solid as you could possibly imagine and has a good amount of adjustment there as well. So really, really like that product. There was an update to the DD1 mount from Track Racer since we did the full review, and they have definitely added some rigidity in there, and it's quite good. I used it for a little while, it was good, but this one's just better. So I've got this one on here, and it is brilliant. The chair, I have no issues with either. I've found it really comfortable. Got it on the seat rails there so I can slide it back and forward quite easily. Getting that installed was a bit of a mission, but once we were there, I'm finding it really quite comfortable. I'm quite a fan of the different fabrics they've used across this, and no dramas there either. Now, you've no doubt noticed these funny looking legs down here. These are an exciting thing I've been trying out for a little bit now. It's the Sigma Integral DK2 motion system. We've got 4 of these actuators, 1 on each corner, and that is giving me a lot of very enjoyable motion. We'll do a review on these for the not too distant future, but for now I'll just tell you that they have been a heck of a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying getting to know them, and we'll let you know all the ins and outs of those before too long. And that has also led to a fair bit of experimentation when it comes to monitors and monitor mounts. So currently I've got the triple 35-inch BenQ ultra wides up there, and they are mounted via the Track Racer integrated monitor mount system. It's a bit of a custom job there. I haven't used their entire system as intended. I just kind of went a bit rogue there, using extra bits of profile just to give it as much support as I possibly can. But it's using the Track Racer VESA mounts, which despite looking a little flimsy, I think they're pretty good. I'm not getting too much flex out of them. So I do get a bit of wobble out of the joiners here between the 2 bits of profile that get the angle for my monitors right. So I'm looking at how I can maybe give that a bit more support so that when I've got the motion running, we don't have monitors bumping around. But it hasn't really been a problem. It's just something that could be improved a little bit, I think. So I'll keep working on that. Now, another thing you might have noticed with the monitors is that they are upside down. This is just basically to try and get my screens as low as I possibly can onto the wheelbase. So you can see there, I've got the bottom of the screen right up as close as I can to that steering shaft there. So as you can see, the bottom of the monitors is this quite thick bezel there, whereas at the bottom, it's nice and thin. And then you've also got right in the middle of the screen at the bottom, the big infrared receiver, or I think that's what that is, but that makes it even harder to get it nice and low. So just flipping them upside down solved that problem, helped me to get it nice and low and close up to the steering wheel. As far as setup goes for that, it's very easy. Just hit the flipped button in the graphics settings and off you go. You've probably also noticed that you can see a bit of daylight through the corners there between the monitors. That's not an issue in the driving position, but if that is something that bothers you, then I'll probably put a bit of gaff behind it to stop the light coming through there. And we might one day try out a bezel-free kit as well. That might be something good to add to the system. Prior to running these 3 monitors, I also tried the motion platform out with just a single monitor on a separate stand, which kind of did my head in. The movement not matching the screen and everything was a bit odd with screens this size. So going to the triples has definitely been nice. But I also tried out this, where is it? Here we go. HP Reverb VR G2 headset, which is really fun. I hadn't used VR extensively until just recently, and look, I've had so much fun on that with the motion system. It has just been an unreal combination, and even just the ease of use compared to triples, haven't run into the problems that I have done with NVIDIA Surround. It's just worked really smoothly, so I do like that a lot. Okay, so moving on to our primary bits of gear, we've got the Fanatec DD1 here. And look, over the last year, I've tried out a lot of different wheelbases of all sorts of price ranges, and I do enjoy coming back to this. It is a really solid unit that does everything I want it to do. And yeah, I guess there's some things about wheelbases such as the Simicubes, which I prefer over this, but then there's also things that I really like about this. So with Fanalabs and the on-wheel tuning menu, things like that are just really, really solid and make for your sim racing experience to be quite enjoyable. So while we're down low here, let's have a look at our pedals. This is the BJ Steel GT hydraulic set, a set that I have said very good things about, especially considering their good price. I really, really like the feel of them. The one little issue I did have about them, which was the sharp edges, simple solution to that was just these reef shoes from Amazon, which cost not much at all. They do the job really nicely. So these are very comfortable to use with those shoes and have a very, very nice feel. Now there is a bit of an update to share with these, so I'm gonna jump around the other side and show you. Okay, so if we get in nice and close to my hydraulic brake spring here, you might notice that it's one elastomer spring down. So there was a third one in there that has unfortunately come to the end of its life, which you can see here. That did happen right before a qualifying session. Fortunately, I was just able to tighten up the spring preload, and I actually got it to feel really nice again without that elastomer spring in there. I'm not trying to say it isn't disappointing that that broke, and basically what's happened is the springs have become a bit off center, and it was just kind of bulging out and eventually just kind of burst on me, I guess. So I'll speak to BJ about that, see if we can replace that spring. But look, I do actually quite like the feel of it at the moment. We've got more of a sort of shift in pressure as we reach the end of that lighter spring there. Yeah, I don't want to say that it's not a bad thing that happened. It is really quite disappointing, but I do still really like the feel of them, and I will get it fixed as well. I'm sure it's not a big drama to get that fixed. But no other issues with these pedals at all. With a lot of hydraulic sets we've seen, there have been some pretty big issues, a lot of leaks. I have not had any issues with leaking at all, which is such a relief, because when you get a set of hydraulic pedals like this, it can be a bit intimidating just thinking about what potential maintenance you need to do. But these have not required anything other than just a little bit of lubrication to smooth things up after a fair bit of time, which I think is perfectly acceptable. So well, down here, I'll just quickly show you the control box for the motion system. Basically, we've got 2 cables from each actuator running into that box, then a Cat5 going back to the computer, and power, and that's all. It was really quick and easy install, actually, which, as I said, we're going to go into a bunch more detail on that before too long. All right, we'll have a look around the back here. See the DD1 there and my beautiful cable management. Look, cable management is always a bit of a work in progress when you're changing things around as often as Will and myself are. Then the main brains over there is an HP Omen, which has been running really well for me. All right, before we have a look at a couple of other details in the cockpit, I'm just going to show you around here. In the rest of the room, here's my little editing nook where most our videos get edited. A lot of the just racing videos and that kind of thing Will edit himself quickly once he's finished the race, but all our big reviews get done here. And actually just a little sneak peek at things to come. Move that out of the way. Currently working on a little Arduino project, which will include this 7-inch touchscreen, some 3D printing, and a bunch of buttons and things. So stay tuned for that one. I'm trying to make my own button box there. So that's been a bit of a challenge for me. I can't say I'm particularly skilled in that area, but I'm going to give it a go, see what we come up with. It should be fun. All right, so a couple of things I want to show you on this side. We've got a trackpad down here, which I think for a motion system is a really good option. It's not going to fly away off a stand or anything like a mouse would. It's always going to be exactly where I want it to be. So yeah, that's actually been really helpful for me. So I do recommend getting yourself a trackpad if you're on a motion system especially. The phone mount over here, this is one of the reasons why I love aluminium rigs. I've just got my phone mounted here to run SimHub, and I've just got a quad lock system which is bolted on, T-nut in there with a few bits and pieces that I had lying around, so it's super easy just to get it in exactly the position you want it to be in. Often I use that for SimHub or Discord, have that running in the background when we're doing community races. But you know, options and reasons for having a phone mounted in that kind of position are pretty endless. I will try and get my custom built button module there in the near future as well. All right, so I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of which wheels I've been using as well. This is the R300 rim, which is a really good versatile size, very comfortable to hold. And we've got the podium button module endurance on there as well. A few people come into the problem of not having enough clearance between the rim and the buttons there, but with my hands, which aren't particularly big hands, that's not a problem at all. They're not particularly small hands either, but I can see that if you've got really big hands, you might find your thumb getting a bit caught in there. But I think maybe the way I hold the wheel as well, it doesn't really come into play. It's not an issue for me. And I've also got the advanced paddle module on there, which I absolutely love. This is just such a nice feeling paddle set. Obviously you've got your two main shifters, and then you've got these two extra little paddles which you can assign to whatever you want, and then the analog paddles as well for two-stage clutch is what I use it for mainly. And that you know, the versatility that comes from that is just awesome, and it really is a very solid feeling unit. So this combination, put these three things together and you've got a very, very nice wheel indeed. So I do use that one quite a lot. One that I also use quite a lot is still trusty old McLaren GT3 V2. Pop that on. Now this, I think this is still my favorite wheel. Just the ergonomics of it. It is so comfortable to hold and so versatile as well. Sure, the build quality and functionality isn't what I've got on the other wheel, but I do find myself coming back to it a lot. I find that the buttons are just easier to find, especially in VR. I do quite like these two buttons here with the, what do you call it? What's the word? I don't know, the wall around them to stop you pressing them by accident. It helps you just to feel your way around, especially when you're in VR. And look, it's so versatile, it's so comfortable that the lower quality build just doesn't bother me. I overall like the feel of the thing. And yeah, you could get nitpicky and say it's not as high a quality build as a lot of other wheels, but it's great. And I just do find myself coming back to it all the time. So that is another favorite of mine for all sorts of different cars, really, obviously GT3s, but you know, you can use it on all sorts of things. Another wheel that I quite like is the Flat 2. So let's pop that on here. This is a really cool wheel. It's such a solid little thing that just feels super sporty. So for things like skip barbers, it's just a very fun wheel that fits the car really well. So I've got the CSL button module on here at the moment, and that makes me not want to use this wheel, to be perfectly honest. Look, function-wise, it's good. Ergonomics are good. The way you can expand it and retract it to suit your wheel is cool. Those aspects of it are all good. But when it comes to the quality and how these shifters feel in particular, I just don't like it. I think where this button module shows its value is if you're new to the Fanatec ecosystem, you've got some existing rims that you want to get onto your Fanatec wheelbase as cheaply as possible, then yeah, it does the job well. But in terms of the build quality, how those shifters feel in particular, there's kind of a fair bit of room for improvement there. So I'll take that one off again. Next up, the round one. This is a cool one as well. As with the Flat 2, this is just a really nice solid wheel. It's just got a nice, good sporty feel about it, a nice finish on it. It's just good quality, it's great. And this one has the Club Sport button module and magnetic shifters on there. This does make the overall experience much more enjoyable than the CSL button module. So next one, couple more. We've got our big, heavy lad, the BMW GT2. And you've probably heard quite a lot about this one. It's been a very popular wheel for a long time. It's big and it's heavy, but it feels nice and solid, especially with a DD1 or DD2. That weight isn't an issue at all. It does give you a nice solid feel. And I do really enjoy driving with this, except I'm not particularly a fan of the button layout. You are quite limited in what you've got there. You've got your analog joystick and your 7-way funky switch, which is good. Then you've got 11 other buttons, but I just find that they're a little bit hard to navigate to when you're driving, especially in VR. I'm not used to this wheel, but I'm sure more time on it, then you get used to it. So overall, a great feeling, high quality wheel. Then my last one that I've got here at the moment is my little Formula Carbon. And again, this is a really enjoyable wheel to use. I fired up F1 2021 a couple of times with this so far, and it's been great. It's a really comfortable, enjoyable wheel to use. I just miss that it doesn't have those rotary encoders on your thumbs and a few of the other features as well, especially in the Codemasters games when you've got so many things that you can assign to controls. I kind of run out a bit on this wheel. So if you're the kind of person that likes to assign every button to something and make the most of those button assignments, maybe it's worth going up to the Formula V 2.5. But if you're happy with slightly less buttons and functions, then this could be the wheel for you. So it's something that I have enjoyed quite a lot. All right, so I'll pop this R300 back on. So the last thing I want to show you is this set of headphones that I've just started using recently. These are the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 2 gaming headset. They've been really quite good. I use them when shooting videos. I'll plug them into the camera and monitor the microphone off these. And with the noise cancellation, I know that I'm hearing what's coming off the microphone, not what I'm hearing acoustically around me. So that's really quite helpful and has saved us from issues a bunch of times. I've been using them on the sim rig though as well, because I find them really comfortable. I like the sound of them. The microphone is actually really good. The quality on that is actually really quite impressive. I used that in our Discord channel just the other day for the first time and was kind of blown away by how clear it sounded. You've obviously got that option of using the noise cancelling, which I don't use too often on the sim rig because I kind of want to hear if my kids have woken up. But if I am driving in the day and someone's chopping down a tree outside, that will do an excellent job of getting rid of those chainsaw noises. They do work on Bluetooth, and the latency is really low on Bluetooth as well. I'm happy gaming on these through Bluetooth, which I haven't really achieved on another set of headphones before. But I've got them plugged in to my nice big volume knob, which I really like too. It's a nice solid build, this, but just having one big knob that you can reach for when you want to quickly turn the volume down or up is something that I really like to have. Then you've got a button here as well, which feeds in your microphone to your headphones as well, because it's so weird if you're not hearing your own voice when you talk. So yeah, that's really quite good, and that's a USB connection to your computer. Plug in your headset there, off you go. Very quick and easy to install, and yeah, they're really good. Look, as an audiophile, I probably wouldn't choose these for listening to music personally. I've got my Hi-Fiman headphones over there, which I use for editing videos and for just listening to music. And look, they're another level when it comes to audio fidelity for music listening, but these are good. It's just not as good as I want them to be for music, but they have been really good. So happy with those. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you found this interesting. If there's anything else you've noticed that you've got a question about, please ask away down in the comments. And if you've got any other cool ideas for things I should try out in this rig, also chuck that down in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. So thanks again for watching. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that, because Will and I are working on a couple of big things at the moment, which we hope to get to you as soon as possible, including this motion system that I've got installed here. But I will catch you again soon. See ya.